Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm coming to you. My name is Trisha Campbell Lewis, and on behalf of the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce, the Wellness Committee, we have an exciting panel of guests. I'm going to introduce Ms. Lorna Owens, Esquire, and Mr. Tony Major. So they are a major part of our Miami-Dade Wellness Committee, and so here they are. Hi, Miss Lorna. How are you?
Well, thank you, Tricia. Thank you. And thanks to the Miami-Dade Chamber of
Yeah.
Commerce Wellness Committee and Dr. Delvina Thomas, who heads up that committee. This is one of many workshops we'll be giving. All right, everybody. So let's go. Let's jump right into it. Thank you for joining us today. We're going to be talking about foods that you can use to keep yourself healthy and fit. And I'm going to keep it really very, very simple. One of the things that I don't want you to do is obsess about health and wellness and food, because wellness is a journey. And so our goal is to put you on the path and for you to take simple baby steps, which means simple changes. So let's get what we need to look at as we go forward. It's going to be about an hour or so for you. So if you're on Facebook, you can send us questions and all like that. We'll address those later. If you're on YouTube, we'll address your questions later. When you're eating, make sure that whatever that meal is, it's nutrient dense, which means that when you look at your plate, you should see a lot of interesting things. So, for example, I here have this my little board here. So these are three carrots. Yes, like all right. This is a carrot that we usually know. Most of us know this orange carrot, but then this is a purple carrot and this is a whitish carrot. The reason why I say this is it makes it interesting because we eat not only with our taste buds, but we eat with our eyes. So make whatever you're going to eat interesting. And so if you're going to be doing carrots when you go to the supermarket, pick up a package that has three different color carrots because you're going to find that when you chop it up or when you these I'm going to roast later for dinner. When you roast it, it just looks exotic on your plate. Um, Make sure this broccoli. A lot of people hate broccoli, but you can do broccoli, and we'll talk about it a little later. That is interesting and it fits into your palate, right? Uh, Avocado. Great. We're in South Florida. A lot of you guys are in South Florida. Great fats with avocado. Make sure you have some avocados going on with you. And banana, rich in potassium, right? So if you have hypertension, you know that you're always going to be running a little low on your potassium because you're getting rid of sodium and you want your potassium to help lower your blood pressure. So a banana, okay? A I love, 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 love this. This is a pink grapefruit. There's a lot of studies that suggest that for type 2 diabetes, eating a grapefruit a day, it would be mighty, mighty, mighty helpful. So those are some of the things that you want to see on your plate. Those are the things you want to start thinking. Did I have a grapefruit today? This is the potato. This is a sweet potato. It is rich in calcium, potassium, manganese, iron, really, really healthy for you. So you want to have it as a part of your diet, maybe once a week, twice a week. If you're like me, it's almost like every day or most days. And what I do is I roast my potatoes. Remember, if you're going to roast something, the temperature you roast at is 450 degrees. Other than that, it's baking. And when you roast it, you get that nice roasted thing. And for you, you might want to just instead of just having it like a big potato, because we eat with our eyes as well, you want to cut it across in small slices and then just sprinkle it in your food or just lay it in a nice little bowl because we eat with our eyes. And if you eat Beautiful looking plate. If everything is beautiful, you're going to feel satisfied. Okay. It's going to help you not to overeat. I'm going to hit on a couple words of caution. Alcohol. If you have type 2 diabetes, right, your drink for alcohol is not one glass of say wine, it's 8 ounces. So what we want to do, like I say, putting you on the road, is to let you know what the measurements are. So for wine, it is 8 ounces, right? So if you have a big wine glass, it's not a that is not a glass. It's 8 ounces that you pour in whatever you want. Beer is 12 ounces. And hard liquor, you guys are getting a hit on this, is 4 ounces, right? So you can have that every once in a while and maybe not run into problem with pushing your diabetes up, pushing your sugar level up, because wellness means that you have to have a knowledge for what you do, not fad diets, not because somebody tell you that you're going to do something. Because when people tell you and you're on these diets, they don't know what your blood work looks like. They know what your body is saying. So don't don't follow people with their diets, because they will do well and you could be in big trouble. Okay. So that is why instead of telling you do this, I'm giving you the pathway to making that happen. So you now understand, if you're type 2 diabetic, your absolute limitation. Yes, at Christmas you can have a glass of wine, but it's 8 ounces. So you might want to divide it up into four little drinks of 2 ounces or whatever. You might want to do that, or just sip a little bit at a little bit of time, and so it lasts you for the night, because you know that your quota for the day is 8 ounces of wine, period. Remember that there's sugar in everything, ketchup, everything, right? So you want to make sure that you're mindful of that. Just say to myself, there's sugar in everything, right? Remember this. Even when you're having fruits, there's sugar in fruits. They're called fructose. They're fruit sugars. So if you are having a sugar issue, or if they tell you that you're pre-diabetic, as we get older, our body doesn't process our carbs and our sugars very well. We don't produce as much insulin as we normal when we're young. So you have to remember that there's sugar in everything. Read your labels, including the salad dressing. You're having this wonderful salad, but boy, did you mess up, because you have these pre-prepared salad dressings and they have a lot of sugar in it. So just be mindful of that. And for example, you decide that you are going to have a smoothie in the morning. You can pack it up with so much sugar that it becomes unhealthy. Anything can become unhealthy depending on how you do it and the quantity. I'm holding this because I have a little NutriBullet, which is about the small one, about this size. And that's where I put my half of banana in, a handful of berries, right? Always a ginger, some almond milk, and some vegan yogurt. I blend it up, and it's no more than about this high. The reason is I don't want to have all my sugars in the morning, even though that is healthy. But the sugar got away with me, right? So you have to be mindful of that. If you're hypertensive, I want for you to start thinking of not salt, but sodium. Salt is sodium. Everything has sodium in it, most things, right? And no, there's no good salt or bad salt. So if you want to buy sea salt, that's your deal. If you want to buy black salt, that is your deal. If you want a kosher salt, that's your deal. It's a taste thing. When you measure them, they have about the same amount of milligrams of sodium in it. Sodium in banana, sodium in coconut water, sodium in lime, right? So just think sodium, 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 right? So you can run through your sodium in breakfast. Your breakfast cereals have sodium in it. So just that's why education is important. That's why not following a paleo diet, all these diets, because you can still be on a wonderful diet and be unhealthy. You can still be on a vegan diet, a raw food. You could even be a raw food diet and still be overweight. Weight has to do with how many calories you take in and how much calorie you expend, right? So be very, very mindful of those things, that you want to make sure that you understand, and don't beat yourself up about it. Don't feel guilty about when you eat badly or not. Just know the road you're on. And if you know where you're going, yes, you can come back onto the road. So don't just be following all these fad diets and put yourself into all kinds of issues. All right. Another thing you have to, I'm reaching forward to it, is water. A lot of us are not getting enough water. So we run dehydrated all the time. You need about 8 glasses of water, right, a day. However, if you have glaucoma, then you want to sip your water throughout a 24-hour period, or at least your day 12-hour period. Because if you drink all your water at once, you could increase your interocular pressure. Yes? So be mindful of that. Coming back, fit for life. It's a mind body experience, right? And it is the sum total of who we are and what we are. So I am going to be throwing you over to Tony Major, because he is going to be dealing with what he does best. He is the guru of the exercise world and making you fit and lose weight and all like that. I didn't tell you who I was. So just before Tony comes on, I am Lorna Owens. I am CEO of Desert Sage Lifestyle Wellness Company. My background is I'm a registered nurse, a midwife, a lawyer. I have a certificate in life in the science of well-being from Yale, mindfulness from Rice University, and so forth. Chinese medicine from University of Hong Kong, and I do have some herbal medicine background from University of Minnesota. So, without further ado, my partner in helping you through all of this is going to be Tony Major.
Thank you, Lorna. Thank you very much. Thank you to the Chamber and the Health and Wellness Committee. I thank all of you for having me. My name is Tony Major, and I am a certified personal trainer, health and wellness coach. I'm also certified in senior fitness, bodybuilding, and group fitness. My passion is senior fitness because I just have a soft heart for seniors, and they really need a lot of help and our assistance and just our eyes on them. So that's where my passion lies. But I work with everyone. So once again, thank you very much. Yeah, there's a lot of information here. And as we use the word wellness, it's a big word, and it applies differently to everyone. But I had asked one time a good client of mine who was well into his 80s, very successful, and he's had multiple trainers throughout his life. He's done all of the modalities and he's gotten all of the services. And I said, what is it at this stage of your life that you would like to see happen in your wellness category? And he just simply said to me, I just want to feel good. And I think when we draw the line, I think that's what we're looking for. Looking good is one thing. The aesthetics that comes along with the package deal is one thing. But I think we all want to feel good. And that's what I try to achieve with everyone that I'm working with, for them to feel good. And then when you feel good, you will look good. And when you look good, you feel good too, right? They kind of go together. But feeling good is what we're trying to achieve. And there is categories to the wellness program that I like to keep separated, but they are very much so interlocked with each other. And the first category is stress management. How do we manage our stress? And I can break that down into details. And the other is nutrition. The other category is nutrition. And the other category is exercise. And they're all interlocked with each other. But let's talk about stress management. How do we manage our stress? Because, when you are stressed, your ability to make good judgment is not so accurate. Your ability to think clear is not so accurate. So stress actually has an effect on everything. So we want to build from the inside. So, as individuals come to me, because we've seen a lot of boys and girls that look great, right? But they're still stressed, highly stressed. And you could see it in their face. You could see that they have this level of concern. And if you're looking good and you're not feeling good on the inside, then that means you're just not feeling good after all the work you've put in. So we want to work with the inside. And, as we draw out the stress management part of this, there's a few words that I always like to have at the core of a wellness program. And the first word is patience. Patience. Just think about it. Um, when you develop more patience, how that kind of keeps keeps the anxiety down. It actually allows you to put more time into prepping your foods. It allows you to look at labels. It allows you to get organized, right? So practicing the act of patience, not just in those categories, but in all categories. Even listening to a friend, practicing it there. Just going throughout your day, practicing patience. You see how it all starts from the inside? And that's just one strategy towards complete wellness, building from the inside. The other word that I like to bring to the table is forgiveness. One may say, well, what all of this has to do with wellness? Well, it has everything to do with wellness because what I've found out as I work with the obese and just people that need comfort is that they're holding on to these mixed emotions. It could be a situation, it could be an incident that happened a long time ago, and they're holding on to it for a long time, and that gets trapped into their bodies, into their minds. It causes them to be anxious. It creates a lot of pressure within them, and it throws everything off. But when you learn the act of patience, you learn the act of letting go and forgiving, you become better at feeling lighter, feeling less anxious, managing your stress. So just those two words alone, and there's other words as well, but just those two words alone I'd like to throw out there. And I would like for you to just try this. Try and see how this can work for you. Patience in every encounter of life, whether it's driving, listening to someone, reading labels, taking time to do an exercise regimen. You see how it all interlocks? Forgiveness, forgiving yourself, forgiving others, letting go of situations that you've been holding on to, allowing yourself to be free. So all of that falls under stress management. So as you move into your day-to-day, practicing the act of patience, forgiveness, understanding nutrition. What is my layout for the day? How am I going to consume my calories today? Having an understanding of when you're going to eat, what you're going to eat, when are you going to exercise, what kind of exercises am I going to do. There is no one size fit all. What might work for you might not work for someone else, but it all falls back to patience, taking time to lay this out and understand. That takes practice. It's hard to work with someone that don't have this foundation. um, you can develop it over time, but it's nice to understand from the beginning that these components are the beginning of you developing a good, strong foundation: patience, forgiveness, and then you can go into creating a nutritional program, an exercise program. So we know that there's many different exercises one can do. Um, the CDC requires that you do at least 150 minutes a week of moderate to intensity type of activity, such as a brisk walk. You can do the elliptical. Some people like to jog. If you can't do any of that stuff, you can get on a bike, a recumbent, a stationary bike, or you can get on a rower. And if you can't do any of that stuff, you can do exercises sitting down. I actually have a book. It's called Sit to Get Fit. It just keeps you moving. I think what they're trying to do is just get you moving, right? And we've proven that that does work. And 2 days a week of at least 30 minutes of exercises to strengthen your muscles throughout your whole body: your shoulders, your chest, your arms, your abs, your legs. So that keeps you strong. There's a reason why uh, that data is in place. So we want to kind of build that into whatever exercise program we're going to create. I still believe that the best exercise one can do, very simple if you can do this, is just go for a walk, preferably in nature. Uh, all of that can be a part of your stress management as well, and you're getting the exercise at the same time. You don't have to walk extremely fast. You can walk at a moderate pace, just enjoy the outdoors, connect with nature, and feel the magic in that. Most of these things that I've talked about, almost everyone that apply this and do this consistently, they start to feel good and they start to see results. So if you want to lose weight, um, understand how you're going to do that. Come up with a plan. Everything requires a plan. You don't want to just be going by day without understanding what your plan is. How are you going to apply yourself to your plan? So, and if you need help with that, you can reach out to me. I could help you with that as well. Uh, so, or any professional will be able to help you with that. I think understanding, you know, if you, everyone needs help for something, right? We can't all be good at everything. So go to a professional, get an exercise plan that you think from them that will work for you. Uh, so those are the categories, and I think when you put those into perspective, every day, managing your stress, you have an exercise regimen that you understand that works for you, and you know what nutrition is going to work for you, then I think you're on your way to a holistic wellness journey. And it's a big journey, like Lorna said. It's baby steps every day. Yes, because as time goes along, the body changes. Um, there's only so much time, focus, and energy one have. You might have a busy professional life. You might have kids at home. Grandkids at home, and there's only 24 hours in a day. So you want to kind of understand how are you going to build all of this into that, because that's important as well, and it can be done. Some basic tips: staying hydrated, very important. At least half your body weight in ounces of water. At least half your body weight in ounces of water. The other is resting, sleeping. I was reminded about that today from one of my clients. Uh, we've talked about it, and just sleeping, letting the body recover. You know, at least 8 hours. You'd be amazed when you just get that amount of sleep consistently, going to bed at the same time, how that itself does a lot of magic for you. And the other is breathing. So allow yourself to breathe. Just, and you find that when you are exercising, you start to breathe better, your lungs function better, and so on and so on. So all of these basic things that we have a tendency to forget about um, is at the foundation of wellness. We want to go back there. We want to really understand it for what it is and build on that. But my biggest message to you today is managing stress. Because once you have that down, you're able to think clearer, cognitively, you can function better, and you can make good decisions. You can make clear decisions that's going to benefit you. So, um, figure out ways to manage your stress. There's a lot of different things you can do as well. So, we know some of the things you don't want to do often, such as uh, when you wake up in the morning, how are you starting your day? Are you starting out by reading the emails, listening to the news, or are you starting out by opening up the curtains, letting the sun shine in, breathing, feeling the sun, praying, having that sense of gratitude for another day? So you want to put these things into perspective. Of course, you got to read your emails, but there's a time and place for that. And I don't think it's right when you open up your eyes, you see a beautiful day. I think you want to go into gratification, thanking God, thanking your body, and then slowly getting into it. And the same thing applies before you go to bed. Have that buffer in between. If you have to finish off the night working, uh, don't do it while you're in bed. Kind of like have that buffer in between so that when you finally get to bed, you can ease into a nice night's sleep. So very important. Um, I think Lorna is right on target with the nutrition. Make it interesting, and if there's no one size fit all. What might apply to you might not apply to somebody else. Some of the basic understanding about how you're consuming, no matter what the calorie intake is for the day, whether it's 1,500, 2,000, 2,500. Some people actually consume more. Uh, Figure out what where you what's most fitting for you. About 35% of that should be protein. Okay, so you're going to figure that out, and about 55% carbs, 15% fats. All right, I think Lorna will ride right off of that and continue to talk more about that. Thank you so much.
All right, everybody. Now, thanks to Tony Major. That was just spectacular. Now, I'm going to show you how you can make a simple salad, which becomes the base of everything. Before we do that, remember one of the best ways you can take this nutritional journey is with spices, okay? Spice up your life. And if you use a lot of spices and a lot of herbs, then you will use less salt because herbs will take the place of salt. One of the ones you really want to get is turmeric or turmeric. It's an anti-inflammatory. Make sure that it's a part of your diet. You can add it as curries. You can add it in your soups. And if you're not used to turmeric and the other one cumin, if you're not used to these spices, what I would suggest you do is simply this: use a little bit at a time. Add just a dab. And as you get used to it and know how much to use, for example, in your soups, you make a black bean soup, you can add a little turmeric in it. You can add a little cinnamon in it as well, right? Something that you perhaps don't think about often, you can put, this is nutmeg. If you put a little nutmeg in your soup and squeeze a little bit of lime in it, that acid, that is an exotic soup. That is a soup like what you get at the best restaurants. Yes, yes, yes. So those are some of the things that I would suggest that you use. Now, black pepper is good for you. It has manganese in it, it has some iron in it, and so forth and so forth. But it's also is a digestive aid. So a lot of times you'll tell me, "Oh, I buy turmeric at the store and I'm grating my turmeric." Do not forget you have to have some peppercorn in it because the enzyme in turmeric or turmeric that you're using does not become bioavailable until you put together with some peppercorn. All right. So that's something that you want to remember. Big anti-inflammatory, ginger. I put ginger in everything. A little bit of ginger in my smoothie in the morning. When I do my stir fry, a little bit of ginger, a little ginger in my soup. It just goes in everywhere. I don't think I put ginger in my salad like I'm going to show you, but it goes everywhere. I like this. Instead of soy sauce, I use a coconut aminos because it has less sodium and it tastes like soy, it's a soy sauce, and you'll get, if that's the flavor you're looking for in a stir fry, or you're going to put it on some chicken or fish, right? Then instead of soy sauce, substitute it out for coconut aminos, spell aminos, right? And those are some of the basic things you should have in your refrigerator. Prep, make sure you have vegetables in your refrigerator, because if you don't, you're not going to eat it, right? Simple as that. And you might want to prep them on the weekend. Don't buy so much that you end up throwing away because they go bad on you, because you're going to start blaming me and saying, "Oh, Lorna told me to get all these vegetables and now I'm wasting money." No, 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 no. A little bit at a time. You live in South Florida. I live in Central Florida, so I can get all these fabulous vegetables. You have no idea. Okay. So, right. So here's a very simple salad that I'm going to make for you. So I have my lettuce. Okay. All right. The least nutrient dense lettuce is iceberg. So unless you're doing a wrap, use this kind of lettuce, okay? And I'm tearing it with my hand because we eat with our eyes, remember? And because it's going to be irregular shape, it's a much more interesting looking salad. So just tear, I mean, you don't have to be nice about tear it up and make it small though, so that you're not eating and the lettuce leaf is hanging out somewhere. Don't want that. Even if you're by yourself, you're watching me make my lunch. This is my lunch. Thank you for joining me with my healthy lunch. All right. We talk about making it nutrient dense, right? So let's throw a little bit of broccoli in it. Just rip it off like that. Put a little bit of broccoli, right? A little bit of broccoli. Because if a little bit of cauliflower. I already prepped my cauliflower. A little bit of cauliflower, right? So you're getting, if you once you eat, especially if you hate vegetables, you'll eventually love it though. Is that have just about everything. So you know you're starting your day great. Now, next thing you're gonna put in it is some peppers, red pepper, green pepper. I didn't have any green pepper, so this is my peppers, and some will be like this because shapes matter. You see, it's a little bit irregular, so just dump that in there. That is lunch. It's my lunch. Okay. Now, then in that vein, some strawberries goes in your salad. Some, I put apple. I don't have any apple, but apple usually goes in. Grapes go in your salad. Pineapple goes in your salad. Everything you have in your thing, right? And to give it crunch and make it interesting, you also want to get some nuts. This I don't work for Trader Joe, but these come in prepackaged like this, and I travel with this. Great way of getting some energy, but also too, I put that in my salad, right? I dump all of that in my salad because now I have in there almonds, I have cashew, I have some dried fruits, some berries in it. So I'm getting all my stuff, right? And I I should call these people. This is a garlic expression. It's gluten free. It doesn't have a lot of sugars in it. It doesn't have a lot of. It's real. It's natural. Natural as natural goes. Okay. So I use that and I put a little like so on it, and then because you run into trouble a lot with salad dressings, right? You have this wonderful salad and then you put all this junk on it. Start learning to make your salad dressing, which is easily just whip up some good olive oil with some acid, some lime or lemon, and then that's when you put all you can zhuzh it up, right? Is that a word? You can zhuzh it up by putting in some of your herbs. That's your salad dressing, right? Or you can make one like with vegan mayonnaise or low fat mayonnaise, or better said, Greek yogurt. Put a little bit of mustard, zhuzh it up again with some herbs, and put it in a little blender. Ah, and it doesn't have all that sugar and all that stuff in it, right? Then a little bit of red onions, right? And this is my my salad, and you can make this. So now stir it, okay? And I'm going to show you how pretty it is. I tell you, you eat with your eyes. Eat with your eyes. And this is my lunch. So we're going to put it. I like a big plate. I'm a big person, not really. I like a big plate because I'm a grazer. So this is how big my plate is. Really big, right? But it's interesting because I can put a little bit of something here and a little bit of something here, and I love it. And I can put my protein in the middle, be tofu, a little bit of or some little shrimp, action, or whatever. Make it pretty. If not, I'm going to come to your house and tell you off, right? So you will see how beautiful this is, and it's going to look and taste. And it took me like a few minutes to make that happen. So I'm just going to fix it up a little bit so that you see how pretty it is and how easy it is. And if you had, here we go. See that? How nice it is? And you eat with your eyes. So let it look like you've thought about it. And it has everything in it. And I am ready I'm essentially ready for lunch. And since I am taking care of me, I have my cloth napkin. All right. And with that, I have some hibiscus. So we have it's called Dream Chaser, and it has hibiscus in it, apple pineapples, rose hip, and all like that. So that goes with my lunch. And this is a salad that I make all the time. It's the base. And guess what? It's the front cover of my book, My Journey with Food During the Time of Coronavirus. I have some simple recipes for you all. And if you come from the islands or wherever, learn to deconstruct your recipes, right? So if you must have fried, you might want to, for example, you might want to bake it a little bit and fry it a little bit at the end to get that crisp because that's what you're looking for, but it doesn't soak up all that grease. Yes. Also, oh, I don't know why it is so bad. I know why it is so bad, but it's something you have to work with. Barbecue. The black that we love with the barbecue with barbecue is really bad for us in that it has carcinogens. So I use like a grill pan, but you have your fancy barbecue at home. Get all the nice barbecue and that smoke and wood smell, but leave the black pieces off, right? Because it's really carcinogenic. You can't, there's nothing you can do with it that to prevent the carcinogens. So those are some of the things that you need to start working at. It's a journey. Take it easy. Make sure you have, and you start playing with foods and recipes, and little by little give yourself time to take on this new life, this new lifestyle, and make it simple. Right? Because if you do elaborate changes, you're not going to stick to it. And every small change we do as it relates to our health and wellness makes a difference. Like Tony says, stress is really killing us. There's so much going on. You do need, he reiterating what is 7 to 9 hours of sleep, manage your stress, and company, having that association. Don't isolate yourself on the computer. Go, get a friend or two and go out and grab something to eat. Just eat healthy, right? Or go to church or whatever your deal is. But it is just as important. Having friendship and relationship and laughter is just as important. So we've made some things really simple for you. Like I say, we have this in a drink already. It's called a Dream Chaser, and the turmeric, ginger, and all like that. We have, it's called Journey to Wellness. It's, you don't have to be grating in all your ginger, and we have it once you can have it once a day. I have something called Connoisseur Delight, which is our oolong. A lot of you guys have said, oh, you've lost weight. Yes, I have, because I'm drinking my teas, and it is oolong tea. So listen, I am getting out of here right now, and I'm going to have my lunch. Okay, but let me tell you, this is delicious. It is nice and crunchy and light, because this is not a heavy dressing or anything like that, but it's really, really good. And I want you to let me know, and let the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce know that you are on this journey. We meet every Tuesday on Zoom. You can come back there and you can ask us questions. There's always someone from the health and wellness. Join us. The Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce is so committed to the health and wellness of all of us. And it's not just growing the business, that is great. Your health is your wealth, food is medicine. So take time out for self. And so from Tony and myself, the Health and Wellness Committee, and all the different folks at the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce, one love, and go eat healthy and be well.